Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 10th of 2023, and we're not only getting closer with each week passing by to the Ahsoka series, which really was all done purely by Dave Filoni. He wrote every single episode, with a little bit of help by Jon Favreau from, of course, directing him on exactly where to go with the Ahsoka series. Kathleen Kennedy had zero involvement in this one, which I believe is really going to create a lot more enthusiasm among the fans to at least go ahead and check out this show after being so let down from Mando Season 3. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into exactly what's going on here with everything related to specific Star Wars projects and what Disney and Lucasfilm are already pre-planning to really further enhance the overall slate and the universe of this specific brand that John and Dave really want to course correct and really kind of just remedy the whole situation of the fans remaining divided to this day. Now, we know that everything related to Bob Iger is all about focusing on movies again. It's all about going back to where Star Wars started, in the cinemas, right? They want to bring fans back to the theater seats, enjoying a story with each other, and just coming back home to talk about it. That's the overall structure that they want to return to. Hence, eventizing it. That's what Kathleen Kennedy likes to call it, at least. However, with Disney and Lucasfilm beginning to focus on new Star Wars movies again, one big plan of the Disney executives right now is for the Old Republic Star Wars movie that is set to be announced by this fall, along with 2 other films to serve as a trilogy. Both Keanu Reeves and his agent are described to be now officially in the talks with, of course, the Disney executives to sign Keanu up for the role of Darth Revan for the upcoming Old Republic film, after John and Dave did some heavy convincing to the Disney executives to write him off as Darth Vitiate and to enable him to become Darth Revan, that they wanted to fulfill a fan cast for the audience. Keanu is also signing up for a mystery Marvel movie that he is still in the talks with Disney right now. The plan by Lucasfilm is to showcase the origin of Revan and his full story for the 3 specific OR films. The first is planned to showcase his origin, while the other 2 films will explore different points in his life as well. Is actually the current plan by each movie by John, Dave, and other creators. By, of course, really focusing on different character stories that's going to eventually, across space and time, come together. Now, you guys may not know about this, but basically they're modeling the OR movies after the movie Crash. It's a drama film. I don't know if you guys seen it. I believe it won Best Picture. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was at least nominated. But it's all about people's lives taking actions and how those actions of those lives eventually clash or crash into each other as one. That's basically what they kind of are focusing on, except with Star Wars. And I think it's interesting because it gives them the freedom to explore multiple character stories, and it doesn't necessarily have to be so linear at first until the ending of the trilogy. Now, some fans may hate this, some fans may love this overall format. It may or may not work. That's why they are testing the waters with the first film first to see how it works. If it works, great. If it doesn't, they're going to change up the format for the next 2 OR movies. That's the current plan. So, this is where things begin to get a little bit more involved, because we know that Keanu and his agent are very busy. They're not quite sure if they're going to make a John Wick 5 yet, for obvious reasons. At the end of John Wick 4, they're not quite sure where they would really want to go with that, or if they want to stick to spin-offs and TV shows, right? So it all is really dependent to when this movie's going to get made, depending on his schedule as well. Now, further, alright, both John and Dave are already planning on creating a cameo for Revan in the form of a hologram in the planned Underworld series by George Lucas that's coming back to life since 2007, and they are modeling him after Keanu Reeves' design first. John and Dave are said to have dropped the 2 other candidates that were going to play Revan that were said to be unknowns. Now, additionally, this is where things begin to get very exciting, is that Samuel Jackson, alright, one of the greatest actors of all time in my opinion, Samuel L. Jackson has also been in the talks to portray the role of Mace Windu again in the form of a flashback for The Mandalorian Season 4 that is going to unveil some big revelations that is set to tease his survival that will eventually be fully told in the upcoming soft reboot of the Kenobi series as well. John and Dave are planning on telling endless Order 66 flashbacks in multiple shows, many of which are planned to feature Mace Windu and his survival from Order 66, which they know is going to be controversial to the entire fandom, but they are taking the risk to please the fans who want Mace back in action. Now, this is interesting here. This is exactly how they are bringing Mace Windu back. As it turns out, alright, it turns out that this is going to be a personal favor that's being fulfilled by Jon Favreau from Samuel L. Jackson. They both work together a lot on the Marvel movies as Happy Hogan and Nick Fury. They're very good friends. And so it was a personal favor that Jon is now fulfilling that was brought up by Samuel L. Jackson because he was begging Kathleen Kennedy year after year from 2016 until like 2019 to bring Mace back, make it happen, make it work. She never wanted to do it. And so that's why I think a lot of the aspects of the Kenobi trilogy were canceled, because Stuart Beattie was going to bring back Mace Windu in that trilogy of the Kenobi show before it was stripped down to a singular film and then stripped down further to a Disney Plus series. So, yeah, I mean, you could see where this is all going. The fact that it was a personal favor fulfilled by Favreau, who is friends with Jackson, it all makes sense. It really kind of just fits together like Legos here. You know, they work together, they're good friends. Why not, fulfill his dream come true in, a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars show at that, specifically here, to really come back as Mace Windu again. Now, that's the format that they're aiming for. Order 66 flashbacks being a recurrent thing, coming back in multiple shows. You can definitely expect to see more of them in Ahsoka Season 1, Season 2, etc., because all these Mandoverse projects have characters that have been through Order 66 or hold some kind of connection to Order 66, one of which being Grogu, the other of which being Ahsoka herself as a big example there. So, you have a lot of things going on, obviously, because this is something that I think fans at the end of the day are going to love and hate. Look, I love Mace Windu. Samuel Jackson is one of my favorite actors. I've seen every single movie that he has made, and I really think he's a top-notch actor, and it would be a dream to see John and Dave execute his return very well and not in a cheap way. So they're going to have to take a lot of time on this one for Mando Season 4 to make sure that this is really going to be what they want to do, and if it's going to be the right way to do things. I know a lot of fans have been fed up with characters seemingly dying, or those that have died just coming back to life. A great example, Palpatine, Darth Maul, Boba Fett, even though he survived in Legends. I move on. Here, of course, Mace Windu, alright? And, it is a common thing for a lot of characters to fall into a bottomless pit only to come back out alive. So anyways, guys, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.